Hi and welcome back. Yesterday, I was just talking to you about what is economics and then the basics, a few basics, right? And the presentation was very simple, and I was trying to connect to every activity which we do in our daily life, right? As a student and as a business person, in a very simplified manner. Now, today, I would like to start with yet another basic point in a very clear-cut manner. Day in and day out, we see that we are doing different activities, right? When we say activity, what does it involve? Activity involves movement, right? If I'm moving my hands, that itself is an activity, right? Now, if I'm walking from one place to another, that is an activity. If I'm climbing down the stairs, that is an activity. Now, the question is, what has activity got to do with economics? A lot. If you understand, or if you must have seen the mythological mythological stories, seen or heard, or probably those epics basically of Ramayana and Mahabharata, there was something which was the root of everything, an activity, and that was Sagar Manthan, right? The tug of war type of an activity between the Devas and the Asuras, right? So that resulted in a lot of things, an evolution which later on, blessed us all to become human beings and then interact with each other through different mediums, right? Personally, when we meet and talk with our friends, that is something which is called, a happy moment, a time when we love interactions absolutely are informal and there's nothing to give and take other than some real good moments. But is it all? Is that the way we will be able to do business? Probably not, right? So when we are supposed to do business, we need to have an activity, as I was saying yesterday, which will involve something in the form of consideration, right? So when I say consideration, what does it mean? It is something which will give value in exchange of something. Okay? If you remember, there was an example which I gave yesterday with regards to the mobile. If I exchange a mobile of mine with that of yours, that will not result in any exchange of money. The need of earning is not met over there. So what I need to do is, if I want to purchase a mobile, or for that matter this pen, I need to spend something. And what is that something? That something is called as money. So if I have to spend money, I need to earn it, right? When we say earning, what do we mean? Earning means getting a financial value for an activity which will benefit someone else. For example, I love to teach. That is an activity, right? Somebody wants to set up an institution, and a lot of students like you go and join there. Why do you join there? Because you want to learn. That Mr. X knows that Surya teaches well, and they will hire my services, right? Since service in itself cannot go and satisfy a customer, it is necessary that the provider of the service is called or hired or appointed, right? So once they appoint me or once they hire my services, I'll only provide that service of teaching or probably imparting knowledge when my need or my want is met. And what is that want? Earning. A very open fact, right? So this specific exchange which we are doing of delivering something which I have learned, which I have professed, which I have been trained for, in exchange of money, is called as an economic activity. Okay? So what is an economic activity? An economic activity is an activity where a service or, for that matter, a product is exchanged for money, right? Now question is, like, exchanged with whom? Exchanged with those who are in need of that specific product or that specific service, right? If you sell a pen to a toddler who does not even know how to stand properly, this will be a toy, or probably he or she won't even know what it is. So the need is nothing. They'll just throw it away. But if you sell this to a writer, he or she will be ready to pay the value, probably, which might be 50 rupees or 100 rupees, 150 rupees, or whatsoever you quote it to be, right? Because there is a need, right? Even in the technical era, there is a need of a pen. So the exchange will happen, and that is something where the economic activity comes into picture, right? The one which I was talking about earlier, where friends meet and then they spend time and they have memories to make, that too is an activity, but that does not involve money at all. And such an activity which gives the pleasure of socializing or sitting together for hours and then discussing something very informal, right? Attending birthday parties, or for that matter movie, or probably an outing, all of these do not involve money, because there is no need, there is no requirement of earning something over there. The only requirement over there is dosti yari. Fine. So that is something which we call as a social activity or a non-economic activity, which will give you a psychological satisfaction. That's all. It does not demand exchange of money. When you visit a temple or a church or a gurudwara or a mosque, you are not visiting there to earn. You are visiting that religious place to feel peace from within, right? But if you are visiting a bank, you don't visit there for the peace of mind or probably peace of soul. You are visiting a bank because you want to withdraw money or you want to send some money to somebody, and there is an exchange value over there. Some service charge will be added. Let us say if you want to send a demand draft, right, for any competitive examination, a demand draft is chargeable. That an amount has to be paid for the services of demand draft, right? Suppose I'm feeling hungry and I see McD nearby. So if I go and ask McD personnel to give me a burger pizza, is there one, right? He will not give it to me for free. There is a charge attached to that, right? You will have to pay and then you will have to get, right? Such type of an activity which involves money is called as an economic activity. And every transaction that we do nowadays, right, starting from purchasing a pen to paying the electricity bill to any activity where a service is involved or probably a product purchase is involved, is an economic activity, right? So this is all for the day. To summarize very quickly, activities are divided into two parts: economic, non-economic. An economic activity is that which involves money and exchange of money. Okay? For what? For the service to be provided or for the product to be purchased. By whom? By the one who is in need of that service or that product. A non-economic activity, on the other hand, is an activity which does not involve exchange of money, which does not have any legal consequences if the actions do not happen. And as I said earlier, they are those activities which are done or executed for social cause or for the psychological satisfaction of the person doing it. Attending a birthday party, as I said, visiting a religious place, going on an outing, all of these might involve money but are having no legal implications attached to them, right? So that's all for the day. Until my next video, bye bye.